Of the Music Firsthand live streaming showcase. I'm your host, Chris Petravka, and I'm really excited to continue to do this each week because we get the likes and the shares, which is the currency that really keeps us going. And each week our hope is that we can feature an artist, a hardworking musician here in Austin, Texas, and showcase them for you because there's so much talent here. And this is just another opportunity for you to see these artists. And so please like and share if you're watching it now. Like and share so your friends understand, so that they join us, as well as if you're watching later, please like and share because that's really what keeps us going. We're a group of volunteers and we just love these musicians. And we're live right now online, and if you're tuning in, if you come on later, if you have friends, tag them, let them know they should join because you should send in your questions because I'm going to ask January and June any questions you send me in. There's nothing off limits, Mom and Dad. So send in those questions because they're going to bring it to you. But hey, with no further ado, I'm so thrilled to have January and June with us. And so with that, I present to you January and June.
Take me to your island. It's a place you've been before, hidden in the shore. Take me to your island. Ooh, ooh, sister, son, nothing, baby. No, we're better off. Watch the world from afar and unravel slowly. Happy that we start. We knew none of it was true. At least that we're together. And we'll play hide and seek. I bet you can find me. Let's stay here forever.
That is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you guys just have produced a new EP and an announcement. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exciting. Which is probably, I guess what's that like as an artist when you produce that new EP and you have this new music, right? It's like a new, I guess it's like your child, right? What's that like producing the album and playing that after it's out now?
Yeah, I feel like it feels really surreal. Like it's
Yeah.
been a long time coming. I think we've had this in mind since we started playing together about 1.5 years ago, and probably her longer than me when she'd been playing. So
Okay.
before she met me. So and there's a couple songs on there that I know she had written before she met me too. So so a lot of it has been many years of work put into this. So.
And I will definitely say, anyone who's recording an EP after you go through this whole entire process, you hate all of your songs after.
Oh, really?
I'm definitely to the point where just now, recently, I kind of had to take a step. I'm sure Ben, who's running sound today, he produced our EP and recorded it, so I'm sure he feels the same way. But after a while, you just are like, okay, but now taking a couple months, now it's really kind of starting to settle in, you know, and it's really awesome. Now we're up at Waterloo, we're featured on the, you know, Texas Music Wall, so it's really surreal going into those places that I go so frequently and seeing your face there and your band's name there. So
And
it's
you're like next to
definitely-
Willie Nelson. You're like, then there's January and June. Whoa.
Actually,
Like,
organizer
what's
right behind Jane's Addiction. You
Yeah.
know?
Jane's Addiction, January. I want the January.
Yeah, exactly.
That is pretty cool. And I guess like it's a labor of love after a while, right? At first you're writing, it's like creativity. And then, and the two of you, do you both of you write, or is it one of you take a lead, or?
It really depends on the song. There's some songs where, you know, I wrote completely and then came to Carissa and, you know, we kind of tweaked some things. Then there's some songs where we both just sat and wrote it kind of together. And then there's some songs that, you know, Carissa wrote to herself and then took to me, and maybe I switched up the melodies a little bit. So it really kind of varies. I think I always try to like challenge myself to write differently each time to kind of, you know, to really kind of experiment, to kind of find something new. So we always are kind of like stay pretty open.
Okay.
With that.
And were you doing your solo stuff before, and what kind of music were you doing before you two got together?
Well, I actually never pursued music seriously until I moved to Austin 1.5 years ago, and then I met Adara, and that's when I started performing. But before that, I had just played really casually. So I started playing on piano when I was really young, so I played that. I did lessons all throughout high school, and then when I went to college, I picked up guitar because a piano isn't portable. So I brought my guitar there, and then that's when I met a bunch of other musicians, and we just kind of jammed together really casually. But yeah, I never sang or performed until I started playing with Adara, so she kind of brought that out of me.
Oh, that's great.
But
It's very funny because I met Carissa on Craigslist. That's how I found her. And
yeah, bringing people together.
Is that like dating where you did like, this is a little weird on Craigslist?
it was very. We met each other. And we're like, wow, there's definitely a height difference. This is going to be really interesting on stage.
Yeah, it was a good
That
dynamic.
was my first initial thought.
It's
yeah,
like
me
dating.
too. I was like, oh, hey.
Well, we don't have to dance together. We just stand next to each other.
Exactly. But it was really funny because before this I was, originally from Arizona, we both are, and I was doing music there since I was 14, and then was in LA for about 1.5 years doing music there solo. And when I came out here, I made the post, and I decided I really wanted to find someone to work with, because as much as I love playing solo, I knew I'd always wanted to like have a partner there up on stage.
Yep.
And so my Craigslist post, I was like looking for someone very serious with a lot of, you know, experience with stage performance and writing and performing, and you're very serious.
So you're scaring off every day possible, huh?
Yes.
I mean, Chris is like,
really
I guess
Lots
so.
of long walks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
was
guess
like,
Carissa somewhere in there was like, well, I guess I mean, I'm happy that she did, obviously. But it's, you know, it was one of those things. I had met a few other people and just knew, and when we kind of played at first together, it's just kind of one of those things. You know, it is.
Yeah.
It's very. We talk about each other very romantically. It was just definitely.
yeah, musical soulmate.
Yes.
I would say that.
That's
it was
great.
just one of those things we just kind of knew when we started playing with each other. So.
Yeah, but I would imagine that's probably easier because you were not like so focused on your own individual stuff,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
So like you kind of took the lead on here's the music piece, but
Yeah.
you've got a great background just in entrepreneurial work, right? With your website and yoga and
Oh,
blogging.
thanks.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
impressive, right? So you kind of
Thank
fit the
you.
description. You're like
Yeah.
somebody who's not effing around.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
it's very
serious
true.
about
And
things.
she's a marketing expert. That's her day job, and so it's it's really nice because she has a lot of knowledge and she handles all of our social media stuff, which I hate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is perfect. You can do all that. You're the marketing major.
Yeah, I think it was just a good dynamic because because Adara is really ambitious and she knows what she wants to do with music.
Okay.
And so it's kind of nice because she takes care of that business side of it, which I don't want to touch. And then I was like, yeah, I'll do the marketing stuff because that's fun for me.
'Cause, yeah, that allows you to focus on your strengths, which is what
Yeah.
makes a relationship so great.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
You can
And it is
balance
really
that.
hard to find people that you can play really well with, like musically. And so yeah, so it's kind of like refreshing to find people that you can just like have fun playing it with. And she's the first person I've ever written music with too. And it's really different writing by yourself versus writing with someone else. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so it's kind of like a nice dynamic to find that. But
Yeah, that's we had Jake Farr on a few weeks ago, right? And him and his wife performed together too. And he talked about it's a challenge. I mean, you each of you have different creative like passion about a direction that you ought to go.
yeah. But I think we usually have kind of the same vision for in terms of like sound,
Okay.
which is really nice. So usually like when we are writing a song together, it kind of flows pretty well with how we want everything to sound. So we never
Okay.
have any like arguments about that. I
Right.
think so.
I am gonna. You guys don't know this, but I am gonna ask. I do have a challenge for them later, so you definitely want to stick around. They don't know what's coming, but we're gonna find out how they solve disagreements. It's gonna get real later. But Chris, I did want to ask you because I want to stay on it for a second, just a moment. Like, so you've got the food and the blogging. You've got a lot of this stuff going on. You're really
Yeah.
into cats.
Yes. Yeah. A
How
true
many cats do
passion.
you have?
I just have one. Unfortunately,
Okay.
just one for now. But
Okay.
I'm always looking out for those strays. I did at one point in college have 4 cats. 2 of them was my sister's, and then I was like fostering one of them. So
Okay.
yeah, so I've had that experience and it was great. But right now it's just one.
All right, and then do you have any pets or?
I do. I share a cat with my roommates.
Oh, all right.
Her name is Mushi, and she's kind of an indoor-outdoor cat. Most of her day she spends outside, and then she just
Okay.
kind of let her in at night. But
That could be a good
she's-
cat band name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mushi.
Uh-huh.
Mushi?
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Actually, it is.
There
Yeah.
you go. Or maybe that's the name of your next album.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna write a whole entire album.
Uh-huh.
She definitely,
like it.
she's definitely worth it.
And the cool thing about being at these, by the way, and if you really want to, if you're in Austin, you want to attend one of these, we do have a live studio audience, is that we get to eat dinner after this. And so we're going to have these great tacos, that my wife makes. And then shortly after that, Chris is going to blog about how, ridiculous
Exactly. That's why I'm actually here.
She's going to talk about it later. But do check out our website, and I think we'll post that on social for you. So shifting gears a little bit too, we've had Harvey and we've had Irma recently. Have you guys been involved in any benefit shows or any coming up?
Yeah, we actually we don't have the dates quite nailed down, but one of our friends, Sheila, she's in this group called She Lava,
Okay.
and they're actually planning this huge benefit with a bunch of different artists, and
Oh,
I think
nice.
we're on like the roster of like 12 different people, so we'll be doing that I think sometime within this next coming month.
Okay.
Yeah.
How could we, if we post something online, what should we do? Maybe we should tag? How do people find out about this if they're in Austin?
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely give our page a like at
Okay.
January and June music and.
Sorry about the technical difficulty, but this is true DIY. And this is what happens when we do our best to bring it to you live and in real time. So thanks for staying in there and hanging with us. If you're just joining, I'm here with January and June. And I've been asking them a few questions, and I was about to talk to them. On their website, if you go to the januaryandjune.com, yeah, you go to their website, there's a great section on private events in there, and I really encourage you to look at booking them for a private event or a house show. And you guys do a really nice job with the website and the page.
Oh, thank you.
It's laid out really well. Talk about what's different about doing those private events versus doing the public shows.
Well, it was funny because it kind of happened, our first one kind of happened as an accident. Our very first show here in Austin, we played at Cherrywood Coffee House.
Yeah, that's
and
fun.
we played there a couple times, and it was our first show ever. We played for like 2 hours, both of us very nervous. It was a very whole new thing.
Yeah.
And these people in the crowd, they came up to us and they're like, "Hey, you guys were great. Do you guys want to play our wedding?" And we're just like, "Oh, what? We never thought about doing that."
Yeah, we do weddings
before."
all the time,
Yeah.
sure.
We're just like, yeah, sure. And so they had us out and we played their wedding, and after that it was such a first of all, we were both so honored. It's like,
Yeah.
here they are,
Yeah.
these special people, and we're such a big part of their day.
Yes.
You know, and the husband had us secretly learn the song that was her favorite, and he didn't tell her, so we played it, and she was just so surprised and so emotional.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so just like being a part of that, something so special like that, it was just like really awesome. And we're like, this is a great way for us to do what we love, connect with new people, and you
Yeah.
know, get paid a little bit too. you
Yeah,
know?
right. Make some money.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah, right.
So it's been so fun. We've done, I think, 3 or 4 now.
Okay.
We have a couple more in the future on the books.
Okay.
So it's an incredible experience so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's it's so powerful. We've done so many of our house concerts and these private shows. It's like almost hard for me to go to a public show now
Yeah.
because there's always that person. Don't be this person who's always talking and chatting it up, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you're not background music and you're at a show, and then you always have the person chatting it up, and it always happens. And no matter how much evil stink eye you can give them, they don't stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, don't be that person. But that's the thing about the private shows, and so if you're watching now, and especially you're here in Austin, you definitely get on there and book January and June, and just go to their website. They've got it very easy. Your email obviously is the best way to do it. And now, are you guys planning a tour now that you have the EP out, or what's in the works?
You know, Chris and I have kind of talked about just doing a little tour ourselves,
Okay.
maybe going. She was actually just in Colorado for her
Yes.
birthday, and was doing some open mics and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah,
And,
just checking out the music scene there. And then I came back and we kind of had this idea that we could, travel somewhere that we just want to go, kind of be
Yeah.
on vacation, but maybe also just play a couple gigs while we're there and do
Yeah.
kind of a mini tour, just
Yeah.
to check out what the music scene is like and to meet other musicians. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
My brother lives up in Portland, and he's been trying to lure us out there. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're thinking about doing some sort of road trip. We might even go back home to Arizona to play some shows.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you should.
yeah, so we're definitely thinking about doing them. With 5, as much as we love the full band, sometimes organizing 5 people's
Yes.
schedules gets a little
Right,
bit
it's
tricky.
costly.
Yeah.
But that's what's nice about we love doing our duo stuff
Mhm.
and playing as a duo, and then we love rocking out and definitely
Yeah.
having super high energy
Yeah.
with the full band. But we can always the 2 of us just packing up and
Yeah.
go whenever we want. So
Yeah.
Well, that's what a lot of our popular artists today. Andrew Bird talks about doing that. Right? He goes out to solo shows, then comes
Yeah.
back, then brings the band around.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so it's a smart way to
exactly.
do it.
exactly.
And there's a great book Shannon Curtis wrote on how I made $25,000 on a 2-month house concert tour.
Oh,
basically.
wow.
No booker, no bouncer, no bartender.
Yeah.
Check that book out. Right?
I'll have to check it
it's
out.
Really, and she sort of built out that process,
Mm.
and it's a how-to manual, so I highly recommend it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I'm a big fan, of seeing musicians like yourselves going out and doing those tours.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, and this is a great opportunity, I think a lot of, I get a chance to talk to a lot of fans because I'm not a musician myself, so I often talk about what you like about music and how do you connect with these artists. And a lot of them are intimidated, they're not sure how to get started, not sure how to reach out. And so I always tell folks, just send an email and say, like, hey, we'd love to book you for a house show.
Yeah.
Right? Or, maybe I'm the owner of a cafe and we can have you in.
Yeah.
So,
Honestly, yeah, it's a great way, and we obviously love talking to people, love meeting new people in any sort of way.
Yeah.
So it's always encouraged.
good. Well, speaking of that, could we hear another song?
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
Cool. All right.
Do it.
We're gonna pick things up a little bit, and this next song is called "Slow It Down," but kind of ironically, one of our faster songs.
Yeah.
It may seem like there's an art to being careless. Really, I've just stopped worrying about my life and those around me. We're just all human beings. Though my time on this earth may be short, there's one thing I know for certain. You got to slow it down. You don't want to miss this. You got to slow it down. And for the moment, you got to slow got to slow, whoa, 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 slow, whoa, 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 slow it down. Think we all get lost in our own worlds, forget to look up now and then. There'll be times it may seem rough out there, everything will work out in the end. And though my time on this earth may be short, there's one thing I know for certain: you got to slow it down. You don't wanna miss this. You got to slow it down before the moment. You got to slow, whoa, 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 slow, whoa, 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 slow it down. You got to slow, whoa, 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 slow, whoa, 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 slow it down. Know you care about yourself and all your things. Why can't we care about each other? We don't need the glitzy cars or diamond rings. Yeah, those things don't really matter. Though my time on this earth may be short, there's one thing I know for certain: you got to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. You got to slow, whoa, whoa, slow, whoa, 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 slow it down. You got to slow, whoa, 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 slow, whoa, 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 slow it down. You got to slow, whoa, 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 slow, whoa, 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 slow it down. You got to slow, whoa, 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 slow, whoa, 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 slow it down. Slow it
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is great. That is a fun song.
Yeah. We kind of wrote it, you know, like I think everyone kind of gets so caught up, you know, in everything
Yeah.
that's going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's a lot of, you know, stuff going on right now in the world. So sometimes it's just kind of nice reminder, just, you know, slow it
Yes.
down. Just enjoy the moment every now
It's
and
like
then.
a great
you know?
summer song. It just
Yeah.
feels like it's one of those, summer songs. I love it.
Yeah.
We also tend to write a lot of like slower, mellow songs. So we're like, we need an upbeat, like fun jam song.
So
Yeah.
we wrote this.
Yeah.
And then you called it Slow Down.
Exactly. It's very misleading.
You could not escape it. That
yeah,
was good.
exactly.
If it's upbeat, we're going to call it slow.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good song. I got to listen to it all afternoon today, which was
Ah,
really
nice.
enjoyable. Yes.
Well, thank you.
And how do folks get your album?
Yeah, so right now we have it available on Bandcamp. It's januaryandjunemusic.bandcamp.com. We're selling physical copies and online copies, and next week we're actually going to be releasing it on iTunes and Spotify. So yeah,
Cool.
we're making that announcement soon. But thought we'd fill y'all in who are listening to this broadcast.
See, you get in the know by watching this show.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, next week you'll find us up on there, and yeah, then also come visit us at a show. We'd love to give you a physical copy, set our names on it.
Which you are going to want to get their autograph. I always ask for it too, and I have musicians play. We have them play here, and I always ask, and they're always like, "You want my autograph?" I'm
I
like,
know.
Yes, you're good.
It feels very weird.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
sure.
definitely
First
how I
time
felt too.
we had our EP release show at
Yeah.
Stubbs, which was an incredible experience, and yeah, it was very surreal. People were like, "Will you sign it?" We're just like,
Yeah, I was like,
"Oh,
me?"
okay."
Like, really?
Very
I was like,
weird.
oh.
Yeah,
Very
Wish
weird
I knew.
feeling.
that's good. You're humble versus the
Yeah.
guy's like, "Oh, sorry, no autographs."
No,
on
no
this
more.
one."
No pictures.
Yes, not until I get 300 likes on Facebook
Yeah.
at least. And yeah, you guys did Stubbs. You had the release of Fierce Kelly was on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, who are fans? We
Yeah.
love them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're all like really good friends of ours too. So,
Yep.
and it's always nice being around such talented people because it is really humbling and it's
Yes.
also just really encouraging. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and that's what's interesting about the music community that I found here.
Mm.
You know, being in LA for a year and a half, the music community there is very different and almost kind of feels less approachable. Whereas here, everyone is just so welcoming. One of the first places her and I played out here is we started going to open mics at House Wine, you know?
Yep.
And
Great
that
spot.
really got us into such a great community of artists and friends who,
Yeah.
you know, we're playing shows with now. That's how we met Ben, too. We met Ben running sound over there
Yep.
at House Wine. So it just, it's helped us, you know, foster so many amazing relationships.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a really great place. And Austin's a great city to be in, to be a musician.
It is good. And you know, I think what's, be curious your perspective on it too, because while it's great, there's this community and there's a lot of bond, but it's also fiercely competitive because, right, it's tough as a musician to
Yeah.
make a living, to try to get into spots. How do you balance that sometimes?
You know, I think, and that's the thing, and I think a lot of times it's really, sometimes you get into this mentality too with so much competition. Like
Yeah.
you see other people as like, oh, like you're constantly like wondering. But when I moved here, that's what the interesting was, is that here people aren't competitive like that. You know, everyone is just has their own sound, and you know, you learn to look at artists and music in a completely different way because
Yeah.
you're taking everything that's good, and then sometimes, you know, it's always good to like look at things that people are doing and just kind of
Yeah.
grow off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely look at it as a positive way because
Yeah.
it's just a bigger community of artists to work with, and
Okay.
it's never really. I feel like we've never felt competitive.
Yeah, I've
with
actually
anyone.
never felt like a competitive vibe here either. I think everyone's actually really, really supportive of everyone's music, and it's also kind of cool to see how much everyone's been doing with music. Like, a lot of people are going a lot of different routes with it, but they're really successful. So it's always kind of cool to see, like, when our friends are releasing a new single, like you're always really excited about it because they're doing all these big things.
Yeah.
And it's fun to check out their shows and see
Yeah.
them play, and they'll come and see you play and stuff. So yeah, so I find it's really supportive and everyone's really welcoming. So
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely, you know, there is a lot of artists here, but I think Austin, unlike a lot of places, I mean, it's the live music capital of the world, you know? So every venue, everyone's having live music. So
Yeah.
there's plenty, you know, of spots around town to get yourself a residency,
That's true.
play
Yeah.
a show, whereas, you know, like Arizona, there wasn't a lot of venues there that offer like, you know, sort of venue like for a duo like us to play at.
Yeah.
You know, there's not that opportunity. Whereas here it's like on every single corner, which is amazing. It's you go anywhere, any night, and there's always live music going
Yeah.
on. So
It's not unusual here to go into a bank. And to say,
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah,
you've got
there's
your
one there.
anniversary
The
thing coming up. We
airport.
should have a band. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
the
an airport, right? That's which is
Yeah.
nice. And we've been at Music Firsthand trying to encourage more and more house shows. Because
yeah.
we just think that it is such an incredible opportunity, right? Which opens up, it creates another opportunity, another market, right? For one, for you to build your fan base, but then also for you to share your music in that type of environment, right?
Yeah.
And it helps with that competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when you guys created the album, you guys went with the GoFundMe process, the campaign,
Yeah.
right? What was that like setting it up? 'Cause especially you're both very humble, like going out and asking for money, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was definitely really weird at first because we had thrown out the idea and we had played around with whether we should do it or we shouldn't because we thought that same thing with whether we should reach out to do that, but we ended up going with a GoFundMe, and we just thought it was a good way to connect with people and to kind of get the word out there that we're doing this.
Yeah.
And if people wanted to support, then they could. And yeah, I think it was just a good way to get the word out about it and just to connect
was
with everyone
successful.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and it was great. It initially started, I mean, we weren't planning on really sharing it with any of our Facebook or community. It initially started around that time I played my sister's wedding, and so I was like, this will be great, you know, see
Yeah.
some family, hopefully get some money.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, music's going great. I'm actually need to record this EP, so if you got any, you know. So originally that's what it was going to be for, and but then we're like, you know what, it went really well, and we're like, you know what, I feel like we have other family from distance and other friends who, you know, would love to support us, and so that's the thing. We weren't like hounding people like, hey, go check out our GoFundMe, like
Yeah.
DMing, like I've had some artist friends too.
You know who you
we
are.
we weren't trying to be aggressive. We're like, this is our GoFundMe, and it was great. And I think everyone who everyone who donated got their own little signed copy,
Nice.
got their
Yeah.
sticker, definitely got a lot of love. Carissa also made some really nice handmade gifts for everyone. So
Oh, that's cool.
so we definitely wanted to give back, and now too want to say an extra thank you to everyone who donated.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, how much did you guys raise?
I think we raised over 1,000.
It was like just over 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's incredible, man.
Yeah.
That stuff is so powerful. And
Yeah.
if you're hesitating, if you haven't checked out the GoFundMe or Patreon or some of these other places, do check them out, because you see the work here that January and June have done, and you see how powerful that music is, and it doesn't see the light of day without folks that are either booking you or supporting things like the GoFundMe. It's really powerful. So I think that's great. Switching gears to just a fun question, right? So favorite theme songs.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
like theme songs of our life, or just in general?
Just in general, favorite theme. It could be TV theme songs. Could
Oh,
be,
gotcha. I mean, TV theme songs, I don't know why this is going to my head right now, but I used to watch a lot of Law and Order, so every
Yeah.
time that comes
Oh.
on, I get really excited.
Yeah.
It's
like really intense.
I find myself singing that a lot.
All right,
you
Law
know?
and Order, and
I might go with a generic one just because I've been watching this show a lot recently. So
Okay.
I finally jumped on the Friends train. I never watched Friends before.
Okay.
And so I binge watched all seasons in the past 2 weeks, and so now that theme song is always stuck in my
Can you
head.
hum some of it?
I'll clap with it.
oh yeah.
But
Can you
yeah.
do some of it for us?
maybe.
Come
I don't
on.
remember. I don't really remember the beginning
now,
now.
and you're like,
Jennifer Aniston might watch this later, and she's gonna be all
I
into
think it's
it.
gonna be. I know. I
When it's
can't
on,
even.
I sing along
I
with
can't even
it,
think how
but
it starts.
I know.
Actually, someone needs to start it.
All right. Well, we're all looking at Ben. Like, Ben knows Friends.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's all over it. And let me remind too, if you're watching or if you're online right now, send us in your questions, because I'm keeping an eye on my own little monitor here. And so your questions, I can ask January and June. They'll come in here in a second. So back to one of the other things I brought up earlier was that difficulty of working together, right? And that challenging part of the whole creative process. I know you guys were really nice. You're like, yeah, we don't have any issues. We get along great. Like, everything is just magical. We're soul musicians. I think it's a crock. So I've got a proposal for you two, because I think this is the best way to solve it. So I think that they should arm wrestle. What do you guys think on that, right? That's the only way to solve this. So
Bust out these guns.
yeah, so we're going to arm wrestle here with January and June, and now we're going to know how they really solve it and who really wins these arguments. So let's use, if you guys, we can move that. If you guys want to use this, we're going to arm wrestle. And so if you're watching online,
Honestly, I think I'm not gonna win
kinda
this.
nervous.
I have the size factor, but
Yoga.
Carissa's got the muscle.
Yeah.
I don't
She's
know.
she
You
does
might surprise me.
handstands and
all those downward dogs are
Yeah,
going to pay
I
off right
playing this
here.
up.
Yeah.
Pressure's
all right.
on.
Pressure's on. Okay,
All
you guys, you okay? Stretch?
Yeah.
All right.
No elbows. You got to stay
This is
down.
gonna be hard. This is a
It's
weird.
gotta be
thing.
legit.
Yeah, this is an odd position for
Watch
both of us.
that
Right.
elbow, Adara. I'm watching you.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
cheating. Are you guys ready?
Ready?
Go. Ooh, this is evenly matched.
I know.
Insane.
And there's no grunting. Chris is just like, yeah, this is cool. It's easy.
Ooh,
Oh,
yours.
come on. Is this going to be a tie?
I feel like we're pretty even.
Wow. Uh-oh.
I know. That's the thing. I'm afraid of falling out of my chair.
This is like an awkward.
What's the
Up
Sylvester
an ankle.
Stallone movie? Do the over the top, the thumb thing? Yeah, let's do the over the top. Oh.
Also, my arm is also not the size as yours.
Uh-huh. There's a little
I
size
know, I feel-
disadvantage. I was pretty close. All right. I think that Adara kind of gave up there at the end. Uh-huh. So, but see, now we know how they work these relationships out. Yeah.
That's actually what we do.
That's really what
Yeah.
you do.
Just all right, Carissa.
Now we
Yeah,
know.
let's arm
We're gonna be
wrestle it
arm
out.
wrestling.
Well, let's think generally and we honestly, Carissa, I never really fought. It is really weird.
Yeah.
Even I think a lot of times the biggest fight we'll have is you know what, I feel like this thing, and she'll be like, I kind of feel like this thing, and then both of us will think about it for a second and be like, you know what, yeah, you're right. That's,
No, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the
That
most
is what
we've
happens.
ever argued. And that's not even
Yeah.
arguing.
I don't buy any of this.
It's true. But the one thing is, Carissa gets on me because when I text people, and texting is so hard. I know she's like laughing because I'm bringing this up. But when I text people, I'm just very straightforward. I literally have like no emotions, no emojis.
And I'm like
just
the opposite.
yes.
I'm like, you're gonna know how I feel in every
Really
text.
expressive,
There's
yeah.
exclamation points. There's
So-
emojis.
So sometimes there can be a little bit of disconnect because I'll say something,
You can feel insensitive. You know,
and then
Yeah.
Chris is like, "What?" And then she'll call me, and she's like, "Are you mad?
there were no happy faces on that
Is-
text.
Smiley faces.
Is everything okay?" Like,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Yeah, everything's fine. I don't know why do you think I'm mad at you?" And then I'll like reread the text, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I could see how you could interpret it that."
So you have to force yourself to be like, I'm gonna put a happy face
Exactly.
on this thing.
It's
Yeah.
better. I just better at my communication skills.
You
I guess.
have actually gone. I've seen some
I've gotten
exclamation
better.
points.
I
I'll see
tried.
a smile.
I
I'm
throw
like,
some emojis.
Thanks.
Yeah, you throw back the big thumbs up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
and-
yeah.
Her favorite emoji is like the side eye emoji, like make the face.
Oh yeah.
The rolling eye thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good one.
That's her
Use that a
emoji.
lot.
Now, are either of you guys dating anybody?
Oh my gosh.
Our fans love talking about sex and dating on this, by the way. And yeah, now's the time to send in your questions. So what's the story?
I would say we are both single.
Yeah.
We are both
You
single.
would say we're both single.
We are both
Okay.
single
That sounds
ladies.
kind of okay.
You know, we're you
All
know,
the single
We're
ladies.
in the dating game.
we're
just
you know,
kind of,
we're playing the field.
Well,
Yeah, I
Craigslist
mean,
worked out well for you.
The thing is that we're both like honestly really busy, and so
Okay.
it kind of makes it hard. Like I work during the day, I teach yoga at night. On the off days, I do music,
Yep.
and she also works. It's like, yeah. So, and I'm also kind of a homebody, so I like spending time by myself a lot.
With your cat.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah,
There's a
me and my
cat.
cat. So there's not a lot of time.
Yeah, there's
for
not a
that.
lot of room for a
There's
man.
not for that.
That's fair. So all you men out there, you're gonna have to be able to back off. You need your space.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay. Well, how is the dating scene in Austin? I mean, I'm
Oh, it's an interesting question.
yeah.
I mean, I
Is
can
it
say
weird? Is it?
from compared to LA is much better.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I can definitely say that.
Okay.
What's interesting though is like all of our friends, I feel like, are like married or in very, very serious relationships, which
Yeah.
back home and in Arizona or in LA like wasn't a thing. Like
Is anybody in a
everyone's-
serious relationship in
No.
LA?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like,
So it's really interesting just to see the shift in dynamics as
Okay.
far as. But it's great. I mean, we have so many amazing friends. Like just right now, I'm just thinking of Josh Klaus and Rachel Klaus, which Josh is
yeah,
singer,
which
and
are
like
wonderful. Yeah.
literally,
Here's Kelly.
literally relationship goals. Those two.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of we have a lot of great friends who are in very, very happy relationships.
So if somebody did want to date you, what's the best pickup line to give you guys?
Ooh. I'm all for anything that's a Harry Potter reference. That gets me.
Harry
yeah.
Potter ref?
Yeah, that'll get me. I know I'll probably like think it's cheesy, but I'm into it.
That's good. You didn't hesitate on
I
that.
know.
She
You knew.
knew.
I knew it right away.
Chris's inbox is gonna be blowing up
I know.
right now.
You're gonna get so much Harry Potter crap. You're
Yeah.
gonna like, hey,
Yeah,
Harry
it's a
Potter.
dream.
And
The thing is, I am just a really big fan of just like cheesy, ridiculous like pickup lines. Just like
okay.
to the point where it's just like so cheesy, like you feel sorry, but then you kind of like laugh.
yeah.
I like the cheesy classic pickup lines.
Nice. Okay, get them ready. If anybody has any cheesy pickup lines, send them online. We will. I will represent you. Send in your cheesy pickup line. I'll try them on a dar. All right, so let's go back to the music. Maybe do a couple songs this time.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right. Let's do it.
So yeah, this first song is our song called "Gentle Creatures," and actually, I always joke. I wrote this song about.
I love the backstory.
I'm sure everyone has heard of the very famous gorilla Harambe, and in all seriousness, when I saw the story of everything that happened, I was very moved. I was very emotional, and I wrote this song called "Gentle Creatures," and it's just very much. And now it's like Harambe is like this whole like internet like meme thing that it's like whenever I talk about it, people always kind of laugh, and I was like, guys, I wrote this is a very
You were
serious
there first.
song.
Yes. That is great.
So this one goes out to you, Harambe.
Nice.
Through the glass, there's a window into something deeper within amusement. Your eyes, are they the same as mine? The big and wild, so they must be. Gentle creatures, looks like they're sleeping. Will they slip away?
kept you safe here behind these fences until you escaped to a better place. Something I don't like to think about. Can we just pretend that it didn't happen? If I don't see you, will I know you're there? What's the difference if you're not? Gentle creatures, looks like they're sleeping. Will they slip away? We kept you safe here behind these fences until you escaped to a better place. Gentle creatures, looks like they're sleeping. Will they slip away? We kept you safe here behind these fences until you escaped to a better place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we're gonna do our last song. This is actually a new song, not on the EP.
Ooh.
And we actually wrote this song kind of as a joke. This song is called Work, and you'll kind of pick up the theme in a little bit.
Yeah.
But this song is for all you hardworking ladies out there.
Yeah.
He's been sitting around the house all day. Well, I'm off at work, and he just wanna play. So don't you worry, honey, well, I'll take care of you. But darling, it ain't about that. That's something I can do. He don't work
He don't work
like we do.
like we do.
He don't work
He don't work
like we do.
like we do.
He don't work
He don't work
like we do.
like we do.
But he still gets paid more than I do. You may look at me, think I'm so fragile and weak. Think what you want, I still got your beat. When you fall off lies, that's when you know. So act surprised when I steal the show. He don't sweat
He don't sweat
like we do.
like we do.
He don't sweat
He don't sweat
like we do.
like we do.
He don't swear
He don't sweat
like we do.
like we do.
But he still gets paid more than I do. They always say you reap what you sow. You ain't sowing much, yet you're reaping more. You've been talking my ear off all day. In the end, it's all about what you do not what you say. He don't work
He don't work
like we do.
like we do.
He don't work
He don't work
like we do.
like we do.
He don't work
He don't work
like we do.
like we do.
But he still gets paid more than I do.
He don't work
Like we do.
like we do.
He don't work
He don't work
like we do.
like we do.
He don't work, oh, like we do, but he still gets paid more than I do. But he still gets paid more than I do. But he still gets paid more than I
Yeah. That was a fun song.
Yeah.
That was always a fun song to
It,
play
honestly,
too.
we were
Yeah.
just like, we were kind of feeling some sort of way about
We were
some
feeling
things.
sassy.
And I was like,
Uh-huh.
Carissa, give me a blues riff. I need to write a song right now about some feelings. And then we got work out of that. So
I like it. It's good. Yeah.
and it's really great when we do it full band too. Kind of, there's a part where everyone kind of does their solo, and Chris is very sassy and like, get to work, Graham, to our bass player. And Graham does his bass part, like, and then
Just like
drummer.
that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really cute when we perform it live with the full band.
That's pretty fun. Yeah. And and it's those songs that there's clearly a message in there, right? And there's a pointer, but you make it approachable and fun, and it's like you can't. I'm off stage for dancing, and I'm just having a great time. That's great. Then I'm like, wait a minute, it's talking about I'm a man and I'm making more money.
It's true.
But it's a fun. It's like upbeat and also just very timely right now with everything going on in the world. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we try and do, and that's the thing. We're never just gonna write some sort of song just because, oh yeah, it sounds good. Like all of our songs, have some sort of message and have some sort of meaning. And sometimes you may not realize it when you're first listening to it, and then once people kind of listen to the lyrics, they're like, oh, okay, it's about that. So
Isn't that great though? And that's the beauty of the
Yeah.
music. And you hear,
Yeah.
that I think that's to me always the mark of a really good song. You can hear it over and over and pick up something different. You can pick up a subtlety, and you pick up with the tone, the way they said it. You went, oh, they kind of meant this with what they were saying.
Yeah.
That's some of the best part of it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So one of the questions that I did have on there was, as you guys think about, you came here a year and a half ago. You've been in Austin for how long?
about the same, like a year. about
Okay.
a year.
So not long. What are your thoughts on the Austin music scene as you've seen it grow, as you see what's happening? Right, we had the Crisis of Music Austin a year ago. You see the work that's going on Red River right now, and what they're trying to do. The thing with the West End, all this
Yeah.
stuff's happening. What's your thoughts on this as musicians, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's totally sometimes, and even from what it's definitely changed just even in the year that I've been here, and I, we have a lot of friends who have been in Austin and seen even bigger changes, so I think we definitely are kind of at this, but people do talk about like the old Austin and how things used to be, and again, I definitely think, there's always going to be new stuff and bigger things taking over venues, but I still think you're always going to see those little solid venues, little mom and pop kind of places that are still like over on the east side that are still like, working with artists. And so I think there's always going to be, new venues emerging, and, things may shift. But I still think that there's such a strong music community, and us musicians, like we will not let them take away any of that from us.
That's
So
good. Right.
we always are capable of a good fight.
And you saw so many musicians and fans come right with the thing with the West End and with Caroline's, right?
Yeah.
And you guys saw that, like that stuff popping up, and we seem to have a mayor that's very supportive of doing the right thing for music, and I know it's tough because there's a lot of different limited resources and a lot of different constraints, but that's a challenge. A fun question back to one for you, and this has now become a theme because it seems to be our viewers love to ask this question now, and it started as just kind of a joke the first time around. So If you had to kill somebody in the most hilarious way possible, how would you do it?
Wow. I can't say that I've ever thought about this.
That's good because
Me
people
neither,
are
which
listening.
is good.
Because we asked this question of Nick Diaz of Buenos Dias, and I asked him, and we were just got done talking about Trump, and then literally our internet shut down.
We were like, oh.
It did. We're like,
Wow.
yeah, So we won't mention Trump and
That's
killing
timing.
We're not
in
gonna
the
say
same
any,
sentence.
Talk about
We'll
any
keep
other
things in mind.
gingers here except for me.
Yes.
I mean, Chris, you go
A
first.
fun way.
In the most hilarious way possible
Wow.
that you would kill somebody.
Oh.
It's important because I'm going to get all of you artists someday in like the whole death match, and now we're going to know how it goes down.
I feel like in a hilarious kind of fun way. I don't know. I feel like what would be kind of a cruel way is I would like maybe poison their favorite food or something.
That's pretty fun.
Not very hilarious, but yeah, that's true. That's
I feel like
kinda,
to me, because like I just imagine someone who loves apple pie and they're like, wow, there's this apple pie right here. This looks delicious.
and you'd be snickering.
that's
it. And I'm just there in the
That's
corner,
hilarious.
That's it.
You did say earlier you're very transactional. You just get right to the point.
Yeah.
don't you? Like, why you make it hilarious? I'm just going to poison you.
I think I
Yeah.
would think that's because it's like,
You would find that funny, right?
Yeah.
It's like, look, they're enjoying their apple pie.
Yeah.
exactly.
But now you
Yeah, I don't
would do something ridiculous, I'm sure.
see. I don't know if I'm not sure if other people will think this is funny, but I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie. So, and that's probably how if I were to go, that's probably how I would want to anyway.
Okay.
So it'd probably have to be doing something like a little bit crazy, like jumping out of a plane. I'd be with them, but I would survive.
Okay. So right at the last minute, you just kind of
Yeah,
drop
oh
them?
my God.
You take their parachute or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, there was
Because they
one
would like this,
sorry.
experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
right before
exactly.
death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that would be hilarious. It's like, can't wait to watch that on YouTube. Here's Carissa dropping this person at 30,000 feet. I don't know. I'd rather maybe that way than apple pie poisoning.
No, I haven't thought about it a lot. Get back to me like 2 weeks. I'll come
Yeah.
up with
Right.
something really
We
creative.
have to ponder.
So coming up, as we wrap up here, October 5th, you've got a big show.
Yeah.
This is pretty exciting. And you've got some of my favorite artists on the playbill. Tell us about the show.
So we're going to be playing at 1-to-1 bar. We have our good friends Cassandra Elise and the Outside Dogs.
Yeah. Yep.
Big shout out to
Awesome.
them. We're going to have Fair City Fire on the bill, which they've done music
They were
firsthand,
here
too.
a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Great friends. We've known Brian too. Met him through the House Wine community.
Yep.
All of them
Great
awesome
guy.
guys. And then some friends of our Bat City Rhythm as
Yeah,
well.
I know Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's honestly it's going to be an amazing lineup of music. And right before ACL, so if you're going to ACL
Yeah.
that first weekend, have the Friday off. Why not come join us
no
on a
one to
Thursday
wine.
night right before the festival? So
That's right.
it'll
That's
be
actually a
great.
great time. Yeah, there'll be a lot of
Yeah.
people in town. That's right. So very well done. October 5th, 1-to-1 bar. Great lineup. So please check it out. And say, hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. January and June here. Fantastic. Please check out their new album. It's available now on Bandcamp. And you can go to this place called iTunes here soon. And good. So check
Monday
it
we'll
out.
be dropping that on iTunes and Spotify. So.
Excellent. So check it out there. So thanks. Please like and share. Again, we're a group of volunteers. Claudia working social tonight. The fantastic and always wonderful and incredibly generous Ben Levy running sound and video. So please.
Producing our EP.
And producing their EP. So the likes and shares really is what keeps this show going. And that's what we love to do is showcase artists here because they're fantastic and they're hardworking. And so, hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Next week on Tuesday, our regular Tuesday night at 7 p.m., we've got Craig Marshall, Singer-Songwriter of the Year, will be here. So please join us next week. And so thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful night.